Welcome, friends, to the world's largest graveyard. Today, we will be discussing Tier 2 of the Iceberg that Bones and I made. If you'd like to follow along or get a peek into the future of the Iceberg, we will link it in the comments below. Tier 2 will be things a lot of people have heard of, but not everybody. This is where we get to the good stuff. But before we can get into that, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who's afraid of the ocean. And without further ado, allow me to drag you down to the world's largest graveyard. The fact that 80% of the ocean remains unexplored is the kind of thing that's hard to wrap your head around. We have lived on this planet as long as the human race has existed, and it seems nearly impossible to believe that we have hardly even scratched the surface. We've explored the surface of the moon more than our own ocean, and it really makes you wonder what all could be hiding inside the unexplored depths. But another large mystery that hides its secrets in the depths is the Baltic Sea anomaly is interesting. In 2011, treasure hunters Peter Lindbergh and Dennis Aberg found a weird anomaly using a sonar image of the bottom of the ocean in the Baltic Sea. The anomaly looks weird, and that's the issue. The treasure hunters and some tabloids have deemed that it is a crash UFO, and in light of some recent congressional hearings, they might not be too far off. But most experts believe it's some sort of rock formation that just looks a little funky. The interesting part is that the scientists believe that the way this thing has reached the Baltic Sea is because of a rogue iceberg that transported it there. They determined this through samples of the formation. But our next subject is even more dangerous than a potential UFO crash landing on the bottom of the ocean. The Lakes of Despair are a fitting name for the potential deadliest habitat on Earth. Brine pools are found at the bottom of the ocean because of the high salt content of the water, making it sink due to the weight. These are no small bodies of water either. Some in the Gulf of Mexico can even be 20 kilometers long. 200 million years ago, the Gulf was a shallow bit of water that was completely disconnected from the rest of the ocean. Eventually, when the water evaporated, it left behind a giant deposit of salt, roughly 8 kilometers deep. This salt layer is crushed by sediment and slowly creeps back out, causing massive amounts of salt to make large pools, creating the Lakes of Despair. These pools are so dense that fish and even submarines can float on top of them. What, you ask, would happen if a fish happened to swim into the brine pool? Almost instant death. The methane in the brine instantly kills almost anything that enters. The only thing that can live here is a specific species of mollusk. On a lighter note, it actually pickles any poor fish that does swim into it. Pickled fish, anyone? Or should I say pickled squid? Because our next subject is the big fin squid. This elusive species has only been known about for 20 years. It is a creepy looking creature that measures up to 10 meters long, made up mostly by its tentacles, which measure up to 8 meters long, and living at a depth of around 600 to 1,300 meters in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, making it the deepest squid ever recorded. Not much is known about this elusive cephalopod. What we do know is that they use bioluminescence to attract and ambush their prey, which is generally shrimp, copepods, and other small crustacean creatures. One creature that this shrimp should fear is the ningen, meaning human in Japanese, is a giant cryptid thought to reside in the icy waters of the Antarctic Ocean. Described as pale white humanoids with webbed hands and 2 massive whale fins instead of legs. Some speculate that this could be some sort of transitional species between humans and marine mammals of the distant past. The first account of the sightings of the Ningen we could date back was to 2003, when a Japanese whaling and research ship were traveling off the coast of Antarctica. The sailors said they saw a large, pale and shiny creature measuring between 10 and 15 meters several times before diving back into the depths. Since then, there have been up to 30 different sightings, but no solid evidence to put forward. Unlike our next subject, which has been seen and documented, because in 1964, a ship known as the USNS El Tanin, which was the first ever dedicated Antarctic research vessel, took a suspicious picture at 3,900 meters deep near the bottom of the sea just west of Cape Horn in southern Chile. Originally, theories ranged from the strange, like a crashed alien ship's antenna, to what turned out to be completely mundane, because in 2003 it was identified as Chondrocladia conrescens, which is a carnivorous sponge. It uses the barbs on its stem to capture mostly crustaceans and then slowly devours them. But one thing that to this day we have no concrete explanation for is the bloop, detected in 1997 by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, was an ultra-low frequency noise picked up by hydrophones, which are just like underwater microphones, originating from a remote point in the South Pacific Ocean off the coast of South America. For being extremely loud, estimated 180 decibels, it is a wonder that we still don't really know where the noise came from. The leading scientific theory at the moment is that the sound was created by an iceberg breaking apart, causing an ice quake. But, for all we know, it could be a kraken or some super Goliath that has yet to be observed. Maybe even one explanation for the bloop could be globsters, the term used to identify the seemingly unidentifiable. Nearly 10 have washed ashore since the 1800s and have been witnessed by thousands. The commonality amongst globsters is that they are massive, hard to cut, decompose slowly, and seem to be mutilated. Although science has claimed to know the answers for a few of these, they leave a lot to be pondered. But we will get into more specifics in later tiers, so be sure to look out for those videos. Overall, the globsters remind us that at the end of the day, we know so little about what lies in the depths, and that the only way we can truly learn is when the ocean chooses to relinquish its secrets back to us. That's the end of Tier 2. Thank you for watching our video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this with a friend who wants to eat some pickled squid. The first person to comment the timestamp for the funny sea friend we hid in this video will get their comment pinned to the top of the comments. This has been the world's largest graveyard, and remember, stay safe out there, friends.